Hey, welcome back in. This is Colatown. We like to call it Our City, Our Stories. And Tyrone Pugh from the Columbia Police Department is here hanging out with me and babysitting me for this first half hour of the program, which I certainly appreciate very, very much, sir. Thank you again for making time for us today.
Oh, you're welcome, sir.
So we were talking, and I want to make sure if you're just joining us, we're talking about the ACE program, Assisting Columbia's Elderly. And this has there's a lot of things you guys do for the elderly in this community. But this time of year, we're focusing on the heat and making sure people, if they need it, can get some fans delivered to their home, things like that. This is why I wanted to ask you about neighbors. You know, ever since COVID, I don't know if we're doing as good a job as we once did about being neighborly. I think you guys do a good job when it comes to like National Night Out and all that stuff about getting out and getting people to come outside and talk to police and things like that. But I'm wondering if we're doing a good job keeping an eye on each other, checking on each other's neighbors and things like that.
So I do get some calls of neighbors checking on neighbors.
Yeah.
They want me to go by and say, hey, I haven't seen this person, or I haven't talked to them, or I'm concerned about them. I do get calls like
checks.
that. Yeah, and I just go out and I try to make contact with the person that actually called to see what their concern is. And then I go to the neighbor and make contact with the neighbor to make sure that they're all right. And it's mostly the elderly in the community. Other elderly citizens call me and want me to go check on them, and that's what I do.
I think it's really important. Everybody that's listening right now to Colatown, we all know somebody. You know what I mean? We all know somebody that is by himself or herself. Maybe they weren't by themselves that long ago. Maybe it was a situation where one of the spouses passed away, and now she's by herself, and this is her first summer alone. Maybe she's not mechanically inclined.
Yeah.
Go knock on her door, make sure she's got the AC working right if you're a neighbor. And if you're not sure, or maybe you don't feel comfortable doing so, call you guys.
Yes, sir.
Call you guys.
You can call our front desk, and they will shoot me an email, 803-545-3500. And just tell them you got a neighbor that you're concerned about. If you're really concerned about them, just call our non-emergency number. It's 803-252-2911. And officer go out. But if it's not an emergency, then call our front desk, and they'll shoot me an email, and I'll look into it.
So we were talking about what we're up against when it comes to this type of weather and how it can impact people. And again, I think it's important that we don't sound like we're talking to people like they're stupid here. I mean, again, most of us that are listening right now, if you're in your car, unless it's broken, you got air conditioning.
Yes, sir.
Most of us, thank goodness, my daughter just took a trip, Tyrone, to Europe.
Right.
And after she graduated, and we let her go out with some friends to Europe. And so she went to like 5 different places in Europe. And she came back, and I said, well, what did you what do you appreciate the most about America now?
AC.
And she said, ice in my drinks and AC. That's what she said. And I said, okay, I was hoping for something a little bit more patriotic, but I'll take what I can get. She goes, no, it's just stuff like you take for granted here. They don't have in a lot of other places. Yeah. And so, yeah, a lot of us are pretty blessed. We don't really know what it's like to wake up in 95 degrees and not have an air conditioning unit or something to keep, even if a ceiling fan, something to keep you a little bit cooler. But there are still some folks that don't have those blessings, or it's just broken and they can't afford to fix it right now. All I'm trying to say is we need to show a little empathy, a little compassion, and that's what you guys at the city are trying to do with the CPD and showing people, hey, if you don't have it, we can help.
Yes, sir. And and we accept donations for ceiling fans.
Just stole my thunder, man. I was about to ask you, how can we help?
We accept donations. Same way, you just call our front desk. They will take information if you want to donate. And they send me an email, and I'll make contact with the individual or the group or company or whoever want to donate fans or anything that you want to donate that try to help someone to keep cool. And I make contact with them and arrange to pick up whatever they have for us.
So in some cases, it's going to be just like a portable fan that can go from room to room.
Yes, sir.
Some cases it might be rarely, but some cases it might be one of those air conditioning wall units. Those don't get donated as much as we wish they did. And then other times it's even ceiling fans?
No ceiling fans.
Ceiling fans.
Just box fans
fans.
the pedestal fans.
Right.
And like you said, on the rare occasions we may get some AC units, but not very often.
Yeah. I don't need you getting up on a ladder having to try to install fans for people.
Well, if I get an AC unit, I usually call the citizen and then have them have someone that they know to install it for them.
Right. Let's keep the liability,
yeah,
everything secure and all that stuff. Bottom line, though, is that we want to make sure people are getting help.
Yes, sir.
Nobody should go through a South Carolina summer without getting a little assistance if they don't have air and if they don't have a way to do it. Now, the other thing is, and again, you and I were talking about this toward the end of the first segment, is also making sure, you've got certain responsibilities to yourself. And we want you to get out. There's so many great activities going on around the city. We got now with Finley Park and all that. We want you to be able to get out and go to concerts, and we want you to get out and go to outdoor events and experience the great things that are going on around our city. But at the same time, we want to make sure you're being smart about it.
Yes, and like you said, that's drinking water, making sure you eat, and making sure you get plenty of rest, and seeking shade whenever you can.
Yeah, and that's sort of essential. I was thinking about it from the shade standpoint, and for me, I like getting out. I just started doing something with gardening. Never thought I would ever do this, but someone's like, Kevin, you got to start getting some hobbies. You got to start doing this and that. Yeah. So one of our local hosts here who does a show on Saturdays, her name is Sal. She's a farmer, and she said, let's get you outside and let's start growing you some local vegetables and all that. So I'm outside, and Tyrone, I'm working on all this and spraying and watering and doing all this stuff. And I realized this is awesome. And I'm outside. And then my wife is like, hey, man, you got a pretty good bald spot on your head. You need to be wearing a hat. Yeah. And I guess you kind of feel my pain on that one, right?
Yes, I can.
Yes, sir. So we both need to be wearing hats when we're outside also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wearing hats, and bright as the sun is out there, probably shades and put on your sunscreen and any kind of protective stuff you can from the sun.
Yeah. So, again, not trying to talk to you like you're stupid if you're listening to the show, but just don't let the South Carolina heat sneak up on you, because we're pretty much there. I mean, we started summer last week officially on the calendar, and we're here. I mean, it's done. For the next few months, there's not going to be a break. We're not going to be getting these hey, this week it's only going to be in the 70s. It's pretty much here. So
yes,
we're going to be dealing with it for the next few months and all of that. All right, let's make sure before we let you out of here in the next 5 minutes, again, that people know exactly how to reach you if they want to, A, donate fans, or B, if they know somebody that needs. How do they get a hold of you guys? Just take me through the process one more time, please.
Yes, sir. You call our police headquarters. The number is 803-545-3500. You call that number. The officer that answers the phone will ask you for your information. They will take all that information and put it in an email and send it to me. Then I will contact that citizen and find out when the best time for me to bring the fan to that citizen.
All right, so I got a couple more minutes. I'm going to throw a couple things at you here that's not involving ACE, but it's right up your alley. Number one, summertime, got to keep the kids busy, got to keep the kids occupied. Got to make sure that they're doing some stuff out there.
Yes.
You've been in law enforcement. You know that if kids don't have something to do during the summer, that's where trouble starts.
They're going to find something to do, and a lot of times it's the wrong thing.
So with that in mind, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, hey, because there's camps, there's stuff to do, basketball, whatever it is. But I mean, advice for parents from somebody that's been a cop, that's worn the uniform, that's understood for a long time about keeping their kids occupied during the summer.
Yes. So we have, I can't give you all the details, so we'll have the PALS program for the city. So you can also call our front desk, use that same number, 803-545-3500.
Sorry.
And ask for Lieutenant McCary, and they would send him an email, and then he would reach out to that parent or those parents. But I think some of our summer programs are already started for us. So, but you can still reach out to them, and he'll inform you about what we can or cannot do.
And then the last thing I just figured I would throw your way is just the concept of what the ACE program is just also part of community policing.
Yes. So
it's a huge thing that I know you have tremendous buy-in on.
Yeah. Well, check on the seniors, giving them crime tips. Maybe they need to put some lighting up, put a camera up, cut some bushes back or some trees back. Some things about going to shopping centers, making sure that they are paying attention to when they're getting in and out of their car, where they park at, making sure they go with someone if they're going to be going out. And it's going to be kind of late or either dark when they get back home. Just different things like that, and going to some of the different programs we have for seniors at the parks, the city parks.
What at this point in your career, obviously I can tell you've got some affection, some care about the elderly. I mean, was there something that made you really want to work with this segment of the population?
I guess because I'm getting older myself.
Oh, yeah, beats the alternative of not getting older. Yeah.
So sometimes those are the ones that don't seek help because they just don't want to, because they don't want someone to look down on them, or they just don't know how to.
Yeah.
And I pass on information all the time to seniors whenever I encounter them about different things within the city.
Yeah.
That they had no clue about.
There's something, and I told you this, anybody that listens to this radio station knows my affection and how much I care about our law enforcement. And I told you this, I talked to you about this before we ever started today's show. And I have so much love and appreciation for what you guys do, the sacrifice. Never met a cop in my life that did it to get rich or famous.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You do it because it's calling, and I get that. And you want to help people and you want to serve. And I think it's a phenomenal thing. I really think it's incredible what our law enforcement does. So that's why when I bring this up, I want to make sure people realize you guys are involved and you're helping the community. Thank you for what you're doing.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming by today's show.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, well, enjoy your summer, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
All right, you too.
Tyrone Pugh from the Columbia Police Department. We'll come back. Much more to come as we continue. Colatown on a Monday. Thanks for listening.